expressions this week. Next week we go into equations. And then we've got one more week. We'll be finishing off with equations. Then we'll have Star Week. Then we'll have the last 3 or 4 days of school. And that's it. It comes quick. Okay? Yes.
Ms. Umbra said that we're probably getting, is it true that we're probably getting the results on Monday for the test?
We should have the results by next Monday, yes. That is when the state has promised the results, okay? We may get them Friday, but you guys know we're not out of school. We're out of school on Friday. So that the latest we will get them is Monday. We all hope they come a little bit before that, but I don't know that that's going to be true, okay? All right. Simplifying algebraic expressions. This sheet was made to make it simple to break these up, and if you'll follow what I do, you shouldn't have too much of a problem, okay? So what we're going to look at here, and I've got to get my camera set up, simplifying algebraic expressions, we're going to call this number 1, okay? We're going to do 2 of these that are very similar, and but the next one isn't going to have all the lines broken out for you, and it won't make it quite as simple, okay? So here we go. We need to understand some things first, okay? And I did it up on the board for the last class, but for this class, I'm going to do it on a piece of paper, okay? And some of those things are these things. We have things in an algebraic equation called constants, okay? Constants are actual numbers, okay? They can change when you combine things with them. Kalisha and Dex, if you don't, be quiet. You're going to drive me insane, okay? All right? They can change, but they are constant because they are an actual number, all right? They can change based on being combined with other numbers. We have things called variables. Variables change, okay? A variable can be worth multiple numbers. In other words, you could have x is equal to 5, 7, and 10. And then you substitute in your equation the values of x and solve for when x is equal to 5, when x is equal to 10, when x is equal to 7. So variables change. They are your x, your y, your m, your t, okay? And in an equation, you can have more than one. You will find this very quickly out in algebra, okay? You can have more than one in an equation, okay? When we are going to be combining what I want to call like terms. In other words, we're going to combine the constants. We're going to combine the x variables. We're going to combine the t variables to simplify our expression. And that's why it's called simplifying algebraic expressions, and why I'm calling it also combining like terms, okay? Like meaning they are alike, okay? So let's look at our paper, simplifying algebraic expressions. And what I'd like you to do is first, I have broken this down to make this simple, and hopefully then you can kind of follow the pattern when you don't have all the lines and everything written down. Terms with n, okay? So what I'd like you to do is box the terms with n and the sign in front of it, because the sign in front of it goes with it, okay? So then I'm going to come down here and I'm going to write 2n, and then because it's positive in the front, I don't need to write it. If it was negative, I would write a negative 2n. Plus 5n, so plus 5n. Then it says equal sign. Well, what is 2 plus 5? 7n. Okay? Next, we have constant terms. So those are my numbers. So I've got a plus 8. If you notice, I'm taking the sign in front of it, and I have a minus 3. Well, that's just combining two integers, isn't it? Okay, so 8 minus 3 is, and is it positive or negative 5? So you're going to put that sign in front of it. Okay, so then it says combine. So now they want me to take 7n and add 5 to it. Well, I can't combine those because they are different types of terms. They are not alike. One has an n attached to it, one doesn't. But I can write them like this, which is the simplified form of the algebraic expression up here. Okay, well, that's why you're going to follow along, and we're going to practice, okay? All right, I would like to look at number 9, okay, together. Down here on number 9. All we're doing is we're simplifying. We're putting together the things that can go together. Now, when you have a variable by itself and it doesn't have a number next to it, it's called the invisible one. All right, and you're going to hear that term a lot next year. So we're going to go ahead and write the 1 in front of it, okay, so that we don't forget there's a 1 there. And they're going to have you do that next year in algebra, okay? So we're going to then box everything with T and the signs in front of them. Have you done that, Kalijah? Okay. So what is the first term we have with T? 1T. What's the second term? Plus 3T. And if we wanted to, this was a positive, so we could put a plus there. Okay? It's not going to hurt anything at this point. So 1 plus 1 and plus 3 is how many? 4T. And they're positive, right? So we don't need to write that. Okay, because at the beginning of an expression, you do not write the sign unless it's negative. Constant terms. What do you see, Kalijah? Minus 3 and plus 12. Well, that's combining integers. Remember, if they have opposite signs, you're doing what? So 12 take away 3 is what? 9. And is it going to be positive or negative? So it's a plus 9. Now what are we going to write on the bottom line, Kalijah? 4T. And what's this sign right in front of our 9? Plus 9. Okay? Let's try some on the back. They get a little bit harder back here because sometimes I said we have more than one term. So let's look at number 11. It says terms with X. So I'm going to box everything I see with X and the sign in front of it. I see a 6X and a plus 2X. Is that what you see? So I'm going to write 6X plus 2X. And 6 plus 2 gives me what? 8X. Now, since I have something different, I am going to circle my terms with Z and the signs in front of them. I have a plus 7Z and I have a minus 3Z. Is that what you see? Okay, so I have a plus 7Z and a minus 3Z. And that's just an algebra way to write your Z's so that they don't get confused with 2's, okay? Don't mind my extra line there. That's just me in algebra. So I have 7 and it's positive. Take away 3, which gives me what? And is it positive or negative? Plus 4Z. Okay. Now I have constant terms, don't I? What do you see? So plus 3 minus 2. So what is 3 minus 2? And is it positive? Okay. So now all I have to do is write down the information I have on the right. I have 8X plus 4Z plus 1, and I'm done. Are you starting to see it? Okay, let's look at number 15. First thing I'm going to do when I look at this is I'm going to say, okay, do I have any invisible ones? See how I have, let's see, I have something all by itself, don't I? Okay, so I'm going to put a 1 there. First thing I'm going to do so I don't forget. Now it says terms with X, so I'm going to box. Why don't you box what you see with X, and then look at my screen and see if you have boxed the same ones with their signs. Remember the sign that is in front of it. After you've boxed those X's, check up here to make sure you have it. Then go down and write your X's with their signs. Then you have to combine. I always add my positives first and then subtract my negatives. So I've got 6 plus 2 gives me 8. Minus 3 gives me 5. And it is positive. So next it says terms with B. So I'm going to circle those, and why don't you do those and then check your paper against my paper. And I get 3B, and it was positive, and I get plus 1B. So now I'm going to do 3 plus 1, which gives me plus 4B. Now my constants are the only things that should be left. I have a plus 7 and a minus 3, and that gives me what? 7 minus 3 gives me 4, and I have a plus sign, so I should have 5x plus 4b plus 4. Doing okay? Let's do one more together. Which one would you like to do?
18.
21? You want me to do number 21? I could do that. Yeah. 13. All right, number 13. Terms with, oh, do I have any invisible ones? No. Okay, so I don't have to do anything about that. I'm going to box my terms with X with the signs. I'm going to write my terms of X with the signs. I'm going to combine my terms of X. If it was a negative, I would put a sign there. If it's positive, I'm going to leave it alone. Only because it's the first term. Okay. Next, terms with K, I'm going to circle with the signs. Oops. I'm going to write it with the sign to the right. Constant terms, I'm going to write those on the next line with the signs. And me personally, it's easier for me to combine the positives, which is 8 plus 7. That makes 15. Minus 4 gives me a positive 11. It doesn't matter. Adding, subtracting is left to right or right to left because now you're not really, you're combining negatives and positives. You're no longer subtracting. Okay? So then we have 4x minus 3k plus 11. Did everybody get what I was getting?
Yes.
All right. Okay. You're on your own. If you need, you know what I would do is if you're questioning what you're doing, I would do one, bring it to me, let me check it. That's fine. What? Yes. What? I have a new facing math, by the way, on the microwave. On the microwave. You said 045? They're gonna make a pirate. What? Or maybe. Miss, can I just turn my music while I do this? If I catch you with a calculator on, you will be receiving a 0.
I don't need a calculator. I just need my music.
Okay. Yes.
I just need a calculator. It's not hard. It's easy. Hey, why you a YouTube? You a YouTuber? Like YouTube makes good money. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. It depends how long you've been on there though. And how many viewers you got. I mean, viewers, subscribers.
It was for a star review 9. I have it.
Like, you did, bro? Why can't we always just sleep in this video? Yeah, we doing this video.
That's it. That pulls you to the video. That's in between class. Okay, if you continue to talk, you are not going to have time to finish. Alright, instead of facing math, would you like to grade algebra?
Sorry. There's no.
I'm listening.
Oh, since there's nothing right here, I'll put up the U.
What do you mean there's nothing right there?
Look, I'll put it right behind it.
Yeah, but you have this one too, right?
Close that.
And then you have this one.
You still ain't got the shirt on.
So then you put 8b plus 7b minus 5b.
This is awesome. That'd be funny.
What? EOC reviews. You know how we did star reviews in here? They're on EOC review right now. So I'll give you 11 since
remember doing that page that we just did.
I'm sure you do.
Isn't that one of the first ones we did?
What?
Isn't that one of the first ones we did?
Yep. We did both sides of it. I usually only give 8th grade the front side, but then now they need to get ready with the second terms. And That's so cute.
If it's -4 -8, would you add or subtract?
Two negatives you combine to make a negative, right? So it's minus
Yes, unless you
12.
multiply.
I know, but she's not multiplying, is she?
No.
But it says same size as different times subtract, but it's the same size.
Same sides add together.
So if you say -4 and -8, I add.
Yes, you'll have a minus 12.
We're gonna do about 14.
Oh, I told him I'll mark it off. If I didn't mark it off on the key, go ahead and mark it off on the key.
All these bees.
It's only if there is no number we can start it.
Miss Boyd, I got a question. It says 5J minus 8J. How am I supposed to do that?
What do you mean?
It says 5J minus 8J.
So that's combining unlike terms. So you have 8 minus 5, which is 3, and take the sign of the larger, which is 8.
Okay. So that would be a negative?
That would be a negative.
No, because you got subtracted, right? Because when you have a negative plus a positive, you're supposed to subtract. Yeah. Different signs you subtract. You add some. Same signs you add. It wasn't just me and her, and I ain't doing it. This is just Taylor, and I didn't do it, but they was trying to call me back on my friend. I was like, friend, tell your friends leave me alone. They was just gonna rock to this stuff, but they never did.
But you know,
And
Brock,
Chance
I'm
picked
gonna
me
rock
up.
with
He picked me up. He was gonna slam, but I kept keeping me
I
out.
swear, but that boy Bradley keep a rock right here in his belt buckle part.
I'm forgetting to stop this video today. Shoot. I apologize. I forgot to stop the video.